I wanted to talk about this pen because there's a lot of coverage on this that is what at least I believe to be sponsored or pay for review kind of deal, because this is the most hyped tactical pen I think I've ever heard of. Like, people who don't know what these are know what these are. So I wanted to provide perspective on this that was not paid for by Atomic Bear, that wasn't sponsored by them. This is just me as a customer reviewing this pen. First of all, why did I buy this pen? I bought this because, well, I use a pen at work all the time. Why not have a nicer one? If you think you're going to lose it, you certainly stop losing pens once you pay about $45 for them, because this never leaves my person. I always know where it is. If it's not on me, it's on my nightstand or somewhere in easy access. It's always with me. The reason that I carry this with me as a tactical tool, if you will, is because the quickest deploying knife is going to be a fixed blade. As a colleague practitioner, I get a lot of experience with knives, and things like folding knives are certainly significantly more convenient to carry, but they do have that deployment factor to them. Even an Emerson Wave is probably going to require a little bit of practice. And yes, I do deploy this Ronin Shoto like that. I'll explain why in the review on this, also unsponsored. But a fixed blade is the fastest deploying kind of knife there is. And a folding knife requires a secondary manipulation. A tactical pen, on the other hand, does not. I can mount this right next to my fixed blade and draw both and use both with the same kind of muscle memory that I normally would with my fixed blade. So let's talk about the pen itself at this point. Like I said, it was $45 on Amazon last time I checked, not including tax and or shipping. And I want to give it the kind of grand thumb procedure of going tip to end cap here. So let's start up here. This is the business end that separates it from a lot of other pens on the market. It's got a kind of serrated tip up here. It's not really coming into focus, but it is nice and sharp and pokey. It's advertised as a DNA collector, which whatever. But it seems to be more like a pain compliance tool, and it's got a little bit of pokiness to it. You could certainly drive it real hard into something if you want to, but it is made of aluminum, so it's really lightweight. It doesn't feel like anything on the pen itself, and it's probably not going to come through, but it's got some noticeable finish wear, and I put this through some very light puncture tests just to kind of simulate how it'd hold up in a self-defense scenario. And what happened was the finish starts to wear, and then these teeth are starting to roll inwards. There's actually a little bit of bending on the crown. They are rolling in towards the center of the pen. It hasn't impeded the pen function yet, but it is something to consider if you were going to. And by the way, I was testing this on a cardboard, and the big advertisement video had the guy pushing this into a wooden fence. So I did that on a soft wood pallet, and that definitely bent these up. So maybe not freaking indestructible like they say it is, but durable enough. Still, I don't like that these teeth are made of aluminum. I would much prefer if they were made of steel or titanium, but not terrible. Still, I kind of feel like this means that this is a one-use pen. Uh, not fantastic. Anyway, let's move on to the body of the pen. It's made of what they call a weapons grade polymer. And they're not joking. This is strong stuff. It really reminds me of what Glocks are made of. Super thick, super rigid and sturdy. This is not breaking anytime soon. This will probably hold up better than most aluminum bodied pens. It's got a real good thickness to it. It's far more substantial than any other pen that you might hold. Thicker than a Sharpie, thicker than most markers even. but it tapers down into this nice little waist here for increased ergonomics, so to speak. These actual ridged areas are hexagonal and provide a lot of grip. I don't have any problem. You get a real firm purchase on this polymer body here. I couldn't be happier with that. Super good, super nice. We'll move up to the actual bolt pen. Action is smooth, very satisfying. It's great. Perfect. This steel clip is nice and out of the way when I don't need it, and clips to a lot of stuff. I've clipped this from everything from, my little lightweight groove belt, the inside of a watch band, or even my super thin material cool jacket here. And I'm not worried about it going anywhere. It's that good. Finally, we'll move up to this silicone tip or silicone cap, and it's not rubber. It's not like a rubber eraser like consistency, and this is here to protect the glass breaker. And there were problems with it popping off in the earlier models, I'm told, but it's nice and tight now on at least the model that I have. So I've gone to grab it by just the pen off of my belt in training situations, and all I've been able to get a grip on is just that, and it comes with me no problem. It doesn't detach from the pen. Protects the tungsten glass breaker. It's nice and sharp and pointy. I wouldn't expect to actually use that in a self-defense scenario, but with how stiff and thick this cap is, I'm not worried about it punching through the cap and actually hurting my thumb if I have to fight with it. I do want to go back to the tip here and talk about the shape of the crown. It's nice and tapered inward and rounded off slightly. So it's not going to snag too bad on your pocket, just as long as you're not trying to shove it in there quick and it'll catch on netting or anything and rip it out. Just go smooth and slow, and the radius of that crown should do a good job of just keeping it from coming into contact with material. Another problem that I have with this pen is that while this finish is real great, there seems to be some kind of top layer to it that is starting to flake off. So let's see, I'll show you my clean fingernails here, and I'm just going to scratch at it. Just kind of scratch at that top layer, and now my fingernails are no longer clean. I don't expect this to actually compromise the integrity of the pen, but it is something to be worried about. It's not rubbing off when I just rub my skin against it. It's only when I use my nails or anything like that. Still not awesome, but for $45, this is probably the best kind of tactical pen you're going to get. And again, unsponsored. Nobody asked me to do this. Nobody helped me out with this. I bought this with my own money, and I think that they're not joking when they say that they rethought that they were rethinking the tactical pen. This takes it in a whole new direction from those skinny, super thin metal ones made of titanium that were, let's be honest, those are pocket jewelry. We've got the bolt action that are found on high-end pens that is just as good as any of them. And even if these weren't here, the crown, even if it was just solid metal, that would still provide a lot of impact power if you needed it. One last thing that I'm going to point out is that because this tip is aluminum rather than steel or anything heavier, and all the mechanism is up on the top, it lends to a kind of top-heavy feeling. So if you're just kind of loosely gripping this, you're going to feel it kind of wiggle around because there's no weight down here with the aluminum tip. I would love to see if they come up with like an optional stainless steel tip. I think that would add a little bit of bling to this pen that otherwise wouldn't be there. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you consider this review helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.